In a handful of labs, from the busy biotech hubs of Boston to the headquarters in Dallas, Texas, a quiet revolution is taking place. There's no roar, no trumpet, but if you listen closely, you can almost hear the echo of a sound last heard 4,000 years ago. Here, scientists are editing the very code of life. Following a blueprint pulled from the frozen earth of Siberia. Their goal isn't just a scientific breakthrough, it's to reverse an ending. To turn a fossil back into a heartbeat. They are on the verge of bringing the woolly mammoth back from extinction. And they claim its return could help save us all. This isn't science fiction. This is a race against time, a massive multi-million-dollar gamble. And a story that forces us to ask one of the most profound questions of our age. Just because we can, should we? For pretty much all of human history, extinction has been a one-way street. A final, irreversible verdict. The dodo, the passenger pigeon, the Tasmanian tiger, they're all ghosts of a world we can never touch. Spectres in history books. But what if that's all about to change? What if the finality of extinction was just a temporary technical problem? Today, we are standing on the edge of a new era. The era of de-extinction. And the poster child for this audacious new science isn't some small, recently vanished creature. It's a true giant of the Ice Age, the woolly mammoth. A company called Colossal Biosciences, backed by over $200 million and led by some of the world's most brilliant geneticists, has made a bold promise. They're aiming to have the first mammoth-like calf born by 2028. Now, this isn't a guarantee, it's an incredibly ambitious timeline. But it's a funded, operational, and rapidly advancing project. They believe the return of this prehistoric giant isn't just about biological restoration. They see it as a critical mission to combat climate change and heal a broken planet. A claim we'll definitely dig into. So get ready, because we're going on an incredible journey. We'll travel back in time to the world the mammoths inhabited, a vast, lost continent of grass. We'll investigate the cold case of their disappearance. A mystery that still sparks fiery debate. Then, we'll return to the bleeding edge of science to unpack the step-by-step plan. To turn an elephant cell into something that looks and acts just like a newborn mammoth. Finally, we'll confront the shocking consequences and deep ethical dilemmas that come with rewriting the rules of life and death. The plan to resurrect the woolly mammoth is one of the most ambitious scientific projects in human history. It's a story of incredible ingenuity, profound hope, And maybe, just maybe, terrifying hubris. And it's happening right now. Before we talk about bringing the mammoth back, we need to understand what, exactly, we lost. When you hear mammoth, you probably picture a giant, furry elephant in a blizzard. And you're not totally wrong, but that's a huge oversimplification of a truly magnificent creature. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Mammoths were not ancestors of modern elephants. They were more like cousins. Their family tree split from the one leading to modern Asian elephants several million years ago.
In fact, genetic sequencing has shown that the woolly mammoth is more closely related to today's Asian elephant than the Asian elephant is to the African elephant.
They are incredibly close relatives, sharing around 99% of their DNA, a crucial fact that makes this whole de-extinction project even remotely possible. The story of the genus Mammothus starts around 5 million years ago. They spread out across the globe, diversifying into many species. But the icon, the one we all picture, is the woolly mammoth, Mammuthus primigenius, which appeared a few 100,000 years ago. This species was a masterpiece of biological engineering, perfectly sculpted by the brutal conditions of the Ice Age. Some were about the size of an African elephant, while others were smaller. But their bodies were a fortress against the cold. Their most famous feature was their hair, but fur doesn't do it justice. A woolly mammoth had a double coat, a long, coarse outer layer of guard hairs that shed snow and water, and beneath that, a dense, woolly undercoat for insulation. The color varied from brown to blonde, and even reddish tones. But the adaptations went way deeper. Look right here. The beta-globin gene cluster, exactly as predicted.
Unmistakable. This confirms the high oxygen affinity.
The sheer size and weaponry of the mammoth forced the cave lion to keep a respectful and hungry distance.
This is the Ice Age, a world sculpted by frost and time.
The mammoths cross the ancient Bering land bridge, seeking the rich grasslands of North America. As the dominant herd moves across the steppe, they act as powerful ecosystem engineers, reshaping the landscape wherever they travel. The woolly mammoths consume vast quantities of vegetation, utilizing their trunks with remarkable efficiency.
Guided by the matriarch, the herd travels the vocal structure.
The spacing here confirms the rapid growth phase we hypothesized.
And the isotope spike is exactly where we expected it. Let's prep the next section. As the great herds move across the valley, they are rarely alone. The Ice Age tundra supports a surprising diversity of life. The herd senses danger. As the predators emerge, the adults form a protective ring, shielding their young from the coming threat. The cave lion, larger than its modern cousin, eyes its formidable prey. A single misstep could mean disaster for the pride. The mammoths are ecosystem engineers. Their relentless grazing and trampling clears the way. The woolly mammoth, much like its modern relatives, is an ecosystem engineer, tearing down trees and clearing the way for grazers like these ancient horses. The mammoth steppe relies on these giants. By grazing and felling young trees, they maintain the open grassland vital for countless species. Weighing up to 8 tons, these giants leave an indelible mark on the migration path, compacting the earth with every thunderous step. Mammoth droppings enrich the steppe soil as insects, microbes, and new green plants rapidly use the nutrients. As the climate warmed, the open grasslands gave way to dense forests and bogs. For thousands of years, the fate of man was inextricably linked to the movements of the great mammoths. In this frozen world, the mammoth offered everything: meat for sustenance, hide for warmth, and bone for tools. The mammoth represented both life and danger, a powerful symbol demanding caution and deep reverence from those who depended on it. In the depths of the Ice Age, every resource was vital. This family clings to survival as the great mammoths dominate the frozen landscape. A rare bounty. This mammoth will sustain the tribe through the leanest months of winter. This high-energy bounty was crucial for survival in the deep cold, shared communally among the families.
Secure that corner now before the wind catches it.
Got it!
Help me with this side next.
The mammoth was central to their survival, providing not only sustenance, but the bones and hide necessary.
Bone goes here. Hold it steady. Good.
Pull the rope. More effort. Now, steady it. Set the stone.
Inspired by the herds that sustained them, these Ice Age artists transformed raw ivory into humanity's earliest masterpieces.
Careful now. I can see the tusks.
It's perfect. This changes everything we thought we knew about this site.
The mammoth, provider of sustenance and adversary in equal measure, commanded their respect. Ice cores, fossil pollen, and changing ancient landscapes introduce climate as the first. Unseasonable warmth has turned the tundra into a treacherous bog, threatening the very survival of the herd. Early human hunters appear along the migration corridor, introducing humanity as the second major suspect behind the species' disappearance.
Drive them to the crossing! We have victory today!
Look at the cut marks here. This wasn't a climate event.
The ice core data clearly shows a rapid temperature shift preceding this layer. We can't ignore the environmental factors.
Please. The data confirms what we've long suspected. The convergence of climate patterns and hunting evidence is now undeniable. Caught between a rapidly changing world and increasingly skilled predators, the mammoths faced a threat from all sides. Severe habitat loss strikes the mammoth population first, followed by growing human hunting pressure, visually creating a devastating 1-2 ecological impact.
Rapid warming has turned the once lush steppe into a parched desert and treacherous bog, pushing the mammoth herds to their limits.
Mammoth herds become progressively smaller as their grassland range contracts into isolated pockets separated by forests, wetlands, and mountains. Already weakened by a shifting climate, the herd was vulnerable. The arrival of human hunters would prove to be the final blow for the great beasts.
The continental mammoth story ends here, amidst the icy expanse of the Arctic Ocean.
Cut off from the mainland, the isolated population of Wrangel Island faced a decline in genetic diversity, threatening their survival. Buried for millennia, these ancient bones tell a story of extinction, preserved by the endless cycle of the Arctic year.
Absolutely stunning. The preservation is unreal.
We might actually be able to bring it back. The de-extinction project is officially a go.
For 4 millennia, the woolly mammoth has been a ghost.
Now, science is preparing to perform an act of resurrection.
The key lies frozen in the Siberian permafrost.
As the Arctic warms, it's revealing perfectly preserved mammoth carcasses, with skin, muscle, and hair intact.
And inside their cells is the Holy Grail, their DNA.
Now, let's be very clear. This is not Jurassic Park. We can't find a perfect mammoth cell and clone it like Dolly the sheep. The DNA from these ancient remains is always shattered into millions of tiny fragments.
The dream of a perfect clone remains science fiction for now.
But what we can do is arguably more clever: genetic engineering. And the revolutionary tool that makes it all possible is called CRISPR. Think of CRISPR as a pair of molecular scissors combined with a GPS. It lets scientists find a specific spot in an organism's DNA, make a precise cut, and swap in a new piece of genetic code.
It's like a word processor for life. So, how does this work for the mammoth?
The plan is to edit the genome of its closest living relative, the Asian elephant. Scientists have assembled a high-quality reference genome of the woolly mammoth from those frozen fragments. By comparing it to the Asian elephant genome, they've identified the specific genes that gave the mammoth its unique, cold-adapted traits. They know the genes for shaggy hair, a thick fat layer, small ears, and that special cold-resistant blood.
The process goes like this. Take a skin cell from an Asian elephant.
Use CRISPR to go in and swap out the elephant versions of key genes for the mammoth versions.
Edit the gene for hair to make it long.
Edit the gene for fat to create an insulating layer.
One by one, they are rewriting the elephant's genetic code to match the mammoth's ancient blueprint. The end result won't be a 100% pure woolly mammoth.
It will be a hybrid.
An Asian elephant that has been genetically engineered to have the key traits of a woolly mammoth. It will look like a mammoth, function like a mammoth, and be able to survive in the cold like a mammoth. Some call it a mammophant. This is a crucial distinction. We are not resurrecting a perfect copy of the past. We are using the past as a guide to engineer a proxy for the future. The science is one thing, but turning edited cells in a petri dish into a living, breathing baby mammoth is a monumental challenge. Colossal has a roadmap to get to that 2028 goal, but the hurdles are immense.
First, after creating the mammophant DNA, they have to make a viable embryo.
This involves taking the nucleus from that edited cell and putting it into an elephant egg that's had its own nucleus removed. This creates an embryo that is genetically a mammoth hybrid.
But then you face a huge problem. Who carries the baby? An Asian elephant's pregnancy lasts 22 months. Using an endangered species as a surrogate mother is full of ethical and practical risks. That's why Colossal is also working on a far more futuristic solution: an artificial womb. The vision is to grow the embryo from start to finish outside a living body.
This tech is still highly experimental, especially for a large mammal, but it would be a game changer for conservation if they could pull it off.
Whether it's born from a surrogate or an artificial womb, the birth of the first calf will be just the beginning. A single mammoth is a curiosity. A breeding population is a restoration. And for that, they need a home. Enter Pleistocene Park.
Their hypothesis is that restoring the Ice Age ecosystem could be a powerful tool against climate change.
The Arctic permafrost contains a terrifying amount of trapped carbon.
As it thaws, it releases greenhouse gases, creating a catastrophic feedback loop.
The Zimov solution? Bring back the big grazers.
They've already introduced herds of bison, muskoxen, and wild horses. They say the animals grazing and trampling helps keep the ground colder, slowing the thaw.
But there's a missing piece to their puzzle.
The keystone species powerful enough to truly shape the landscape.
The woolly mammoth.
The vision is for Colossal's mammoths to eventually be sent to Pleistocene Park.
They would trample down shrubs, knock over trees to let grass grow, and sweep away insulating snow in winter, allowing the deep cold to penetrate and refreeze the permafrost. In this vision, the mammoth is a hairy, 4-ton climate warrior, brought back to help save the Arctic. It's a breathtakingly bold idea.
But is it realistic?
That's where the controversy begins. We cannot simply ignore the impact on the existing ecosystem.
But the genetic viability suggests a moral imperative.
This story is unfolding in real time. The questions it raises aren't just for scientists, they're for all of us.
Bringing back an extinct species could have profound consequences.
So what do you think? Is this brilliant innovation or unimaginable hubris?
Is it our duty to right a past wrong, or a dangerous gamble?
Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
This is a conversation we all need to be a part of.
We started this journey in a lab, with the quiet promise of a dividing cell, and traveled 40,000 years into the past. We stood in a world of grass ruled by giants, and saw how our own survival was tied to the fate of the woolly mammoth. We investigated their mysterious disappearance, a tragedy written by climate and, perhaps, by our own hands. And we return to the present, where a plan to reverse that ending is no longer a dream, but a funded reality. The project to resurrect the woolly mammoth showcases everything our species is capable of. Our boundless curiosity,
the potential benefits are tantalizing.
Using these giants to fight climate change is a powerful narrative. The tech developed along the way could revolutionize human health and conservation. Proponents say it's not playing God, it's taking responsibility.
Yet, for every dazzling promise, there's a dark, complicated question.
What are the unforeseen consequences of reintroducing a species that's been gone for 4 millennia?
Could they become invasive?
And what kind of life are we creating? The first mammoth will be born into a world it doesn't know, without a herd to teach it how to be a mammoth. It will be a scientific marvel, but also a sentient being.
Do we have the right to create a life for the sake of an experiment, no matter how noble the goal?
The debate is fierce because the stakes are so high.
De-extinction forces us to confront our relationship with nature, our power, and our wisdom, or lack thereof. Some see it as the ultimate expression of human arrogance, a tech bro fantasy that distracts from the urgent work of saving the species we still have. Others see it as a moral imperative, a chance to become true stewards of the planet.
One thing is certain.
The birth of the first woolly mammoth in our lifetime would mark a turning point.
We have spent centuries as agents of extinction.
Now, we are on the verge of becoming agents of resurrection. The first footsteps of that baby mammoth won't just be on the frozen ground of the 21st century. They will be steps into a future of our own making. A future where we have finally decided to pick up the pen and write our own chapter in the book of life. The question is no longer, can we do this?
The question is, should we?